Now, how much time are we going to give him, and why are we going to give him? I had one case, and without mentioning what, I stacked it. And the reason I stacked it was because it was a very, very damaging case to a very small person that didn't even know, possibly couldn't even get a glass of milk out of the refrigerator.
Mm.
So you can't take advantage of someone like that, because they're innocent lives that are ruined now forever. So those you have to look at very seriously.
Well, and as a judge, I mean, man, we're all human. I mean, if I was up
Correct.
there, or anyone, any one of us up there, and it was a case that of a helpless person that has been assaulted or forever changed, whether it be, say somebody was breaking in someone's house of a little old lady and hurt the little old lady, you know, juries and the public cry out for a message to be sent. We always hear about messages to be sent. So let me ask you, I mean, when you make a decision, how hard is it afterward? I mean, the media, I'm sure, want to comment from you, and you can't do it.
Well, let's hypothetically talk about
Sure.
a case.
Yeah, let's
Let's
talk about it.
assume that you have a single person, a female person, somebody breaks into their home, rapes her, beats her, leaves her for dead, and you know he's finally caught. Let's assume that the man is, say, 40 years old. Okay, and you give him life in prison, and he's got 2 or 3 counts. You give him life in prison, he's going to serve at least 40 years of that. It makes him 80. Why do I want to spend money of the county giving him life 4 times when it's not going to make any difference? You see?
Yes.
And you know, obviously you've taken care of the issue, because this person's not going to get out of prison for 40 years. He's 40 years old today.
It's a
He's
death
80
sentence.
years.
Yeah, pretty much.
Person has not lived day per day in prison over 29.5 years. That's the most they live.
It's hard time in prison, the quality of life and the isolation and everything else.
Yes.
And especially Texas prisons, you know, they're not any, you know, a lot of people believe, you know, the federal and state system that we have, but, you know, a lot of these people you want to talk to, let's go to the flip side of that too. There's the balance of every criminal is somebody's, or alleged criminal is somebody's brother, sister, husband,
Right.
cousin, son, and so the family balanced on the other side are saying, please give him he had a job, he made a stupid mistake, he's 18 years old and pointed a gun in a clerk's face, please, Judge Longoria, you know. And a lot of the time at sentencing, they'll come and beg you, and, you know, and a lot of the, you know, other judges have been called maximum this or maximum that, or you know, some people have commented that you're hard on certain criminals, you know. But, I mean, when they have families outcrying saying, please give this 18, 20-year-old man don't send him, don't throw away his life. I mean, you know, it's kind of like they're putting it on you, like,
Right.
Don't do this to him.
Yeah.
Please don't ruin his life, you know. And so how do you respond to that?
Well, you still got to evaluate the whole situation. You've got the victims, you've got the other victims who are the family of the person committing the crime. Now, you know, the society needs to be protected. If I put a rapist back out on the street because parents and brothers and sisters are begging, you know, he's going to go out and do it again. And you've got to protect the community. I've been told that I am very tough on punishment. I don't believe, Joe, that I'm tough on punishment. I think I'm fair to both sides, because I got to be fair to the victim and I got to be fair to the defendant. And when you evaluate those two, and it's a process that we go through, all the judges go through this process in their minds, you know, what is the right number? Not everybody's going to go to prison for life. I mean, we'd be paying for them to have a beautiful life, you know. If I could give you one example, when I was still practicing law, there was, as you well know, sometimes you would have 10, 12 cases in one day. I had been working, the boys were still small, I had been working all day. I'd gotten to the office about 7, had been working all day. I finally went to the jail to see my prisoners at 4 o'clock after being in court all day. and hadn't had lunch, hadn't had anything to eat, and they were bringing the trays out for the prisoners. They had 2 beautiful pork chops, a glass of tea, salad, a roll, and I looked and I said, what? And mashed potatoes. I said, what's wrong with this picture? You know, I am hungry. I haven't been able to go eat because I'm here trying to take care of my business, but yet, you know, we're doing this. That shows that you've got to take care of those persons also. You can't just treat them like, I mean, we're all human beings. They all have to be treated equally, because just because they're in jail doesn't mean they're guilty of anything. Until that jury or that judge finds them guilty, they're innocent.
Well, and people sometimes in Texas, especially, you know, because we have a lot of victims, crime is going out the roof. Like you said, you know, drugs, alcohol, domestic violence, injuries to children and the elderly. I mean, how do you keep it all together? I mean, and a lot of people would say, why do you want to keep up on the bench? I mean, it's stress, you know. But I mean, what makes you every day, what I'm getting at, every day get up, look at yourself, shave, brush your teeth, respect that man in the mirror, and then go up there at 7:15 every morning and get ready on a typical Monday and face that again?
I think the weekend that once, when you get to spend time with your family, and also get to spend time with the University of Texas football team.
There you go.
You get to sit there and watch them, and you can yell at them because they're messing up, and you know you couldn't have done any better because you're not even close to being equal to them in playing ball, you see. But here, I can yell at those players, the Dallas Cowboys, that gummit, he should have caught that ball.
Well, that was
the same thing happens to us in the courtroom. The people that are out in the audience, that gummit, that judge shouldn't have done that, you know. It all equals out. And that's the way I look at it. And everybody knows that I love my sports, and I watch sports. I don't drink, chase wild women, or do drugs, but I do watch sports.
Well, and you have to have something to keep yourself sane, you know. I mean, a lot of the time people up there, it's weird, you know. They look at a judge up there and they see that black robe and they don't see anything else. They see the gavel, the black robe, you know, and they forget that there's a human being up there that is charged with being fair, but at the same time protecting the public.
Right.
I've been in front of you many times, and I'm going to bring up something here that many people that are turned off by, that maybe are not familiar with the system, and that is probation. A lot of people in Texas say, no probation. I mean, it should just be jail or nothing, you know. And, you know, in your opinion, and based on your knowledge and your 30 plus years of practice and being on the bench, what is your opinion about the purpose of probation?
Well, the purpose of probation is a form of rehabilitation with staying within the community. We cannot send everybody to prison. We'd be building prisons every day, and we'd be filling them. Now, there's those that, you know, I mean, a kid goes out there and he's getting ready to walk home, and he sees a car with the keys in it, and he takes off and drops it off a block from his house, and he gets home. I mean, yes, he stole a car. Unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. Should that person, 18, 19, 20-year-old, go to prison? You've got to give them an opportunity in life. And that's what I tried to do. You know, I tried to evaluate the whole situation and say, you know, if I were in that position, what would I be looking at? You know, would I want that judge to give me a break? But, you know, they keep coming back and back and back and back on violation of probation. Well, you, as a judge, can only tolerate it so much. And eventually you have to do something, they go. But you have to look at the seriousness of the crime.